So when you are explaining to these people that a car that's just a few years old is just as good as a car that's now,
Yeah.
does anybody go, you're right? Or is it like a natural inclination? Like, is this just this thing that they want, a status symbol that's in their head that they need at 2026?
People are very defensive on the show. I can convince them of smaller things. Getting rid of a car in our culture is usually a big thing to overcome. But I'll see weeks later that they sat on it, they thought about it. Then the video went uploaded and millions of people shit all over them in the comments. And they're like, okay, maybe I should get rid of this car. So some people actually, many people do change their perspective on cars. But that's a hard one to overcome. Telling them to close a credit card, it's kind of easy. Car's a big one. I've told people to not get a house, and they're really close to getting a house. That's something they will not give up, because that's another obsession that we have in our country.
So would you say not get a house today because of interest rates?
Not just interest rates. The overall marketplace, S&P 500, it just beats real estate. Commercial real estate's good to get for tax advantages, but the American dream isn't owning a home anymore. It's the freedom of renting, because you can live wherever you want. You can move for a job like that. Getting a house, you're stuck in a house. It requires a massive amount of money for a down payment. And it's just a lack of flexibility in a generation and age where people want to be more flexible and travel and explore and take new jobs everywhere. But it also just doesn't make sense as an investment anymore. It doesn't.
Now the home ownership section, because this is where the whole thing falls apart in real time in front of 15 million people, and nobody in that room noticed. Caleb explains confidently, authoritatively, as a man who cannot legally give you advice on the subject, that the American dream of owning a home is over. Renting is the new freedom. S&P 500 beats real estate every time. People who want to own a home are being irrational. That is just feelings. Math is math. And then, in the same breath, goes, I own. But it was very affordable for me. I own. He owns a home. The man who just explained why your desire to own a home is financially irrational and emotionally sentimental owns a home, bought it when it was affordable, at an interest rate that has not existed for years, in a market that looks absolutely nothing like the one he is now advising you to give up on, and his suggestion for what you should do instead, rent from corporations. Because corporations, this is his literal argument, said out loud into a microphone, fix your sink faster than individual landlords. That is the new American dream Calebhammer is selling from his house. You will own nothing. You will rent from BlackRock. You will submit a maintenance request and be grateful it was processed within 48 hours. We are way too poor to be the people this advice was designed for, but we are exactly poor enough to be the target audience for the content. But here's the part that should genuinely make your blood pressure spike. At the very start of this same episode, before he gets to the renting speech, Caleb explains to Joe that real estate is actually one of the greatest stores of wealth ever devised. That billionaires park capital in property across multiple countries, because it is a rock-solid asset that holds value across generations. One of the smartest things wealthy people do with surplus money. So let us just be crystal clear about the rules Caleb has established in this single episode. Real estate is a financially irrational, emotional crutch that ordinary people should abandon. Unless you are rich, in which case it is an elite wealth preservation tool you should be hoarding internationally. One set of rules for the people who already own everything. One set of rules for the people watching a free YouTube channel, because they cannot afford a real advisor. They are too busy smelling each other's farts to notice they have just delivered completely opposite advice to two different classes of people in the same episode without blinking once.
What do you think when you're talking to these young people that are talking about their future? What do you think about what's happening with AI and the potential for AI to displace jobs? And these people that are investing their future and going to school and getting this job that might not even exist.
Yeah, totally fair. It's a big fear. So I'm going to start this part by saying I don't 100% want to listen to anyone that says they know what's going to happen. Because there's the doom and glooms that says everyone's job's going to go away. And then there's those that say it's going to create a shit ton of new jobs. I don't listen to any of them. No one knows what's on the other side of the hill of AI. But we do know AI is coming. So there is the best things to prepare for it. Trades, very smart. They've been smart for a while, but they're very smart with AI because it's probably not coming for an electrician job. Probably not. Degrees, in general, what degree you get in school has been one of the largest and most consequential decisions that people have been messing up for the past few years. And it's actually one of the leading causes for that gender wealth divide that is always talked about. When compared for the same job, same person, same experience, which is never compared in that study, it's actually 99% very similar, but what we see oftentimes, and I feel bad for the women my age with this, is statistically they've gone and got lower paying degrees, and now degrees that are very susceptible to AI, which is going to be very damaging for a large group of people that are going to push them to become even more radical. But women have gone and borrowed a lot more money for degrees that provide a lot less return on investment, like sociology, psychology, the arts, things like that, where you can't maybe even get a job. You're going to be a barista, or if you are going to get a job, it's usually a lower paying job, where men have gone, we've fallen this thing in our society where men have always tried to go to that higher income side and give up a job they like for it. So they'll go into engineering, the maths, the sciences, even if they don't like it, or the trades, very labor intensive. And even though AI, they're susceptible to some things in tech there, it's always been higher paying, and that's what's made that gender wealth gap so heavy. That, and then women post-birth is the second highest leading cause. But when it comes to AI, people are already making the mistakes in the degrees they've been getting over the last 10 years, and now this is just going to accelerate that even further. When it comes to data entry jobs, things that are super easy, even, unfortunately, who knows if we'll allow it for therapists, but it's getting there pretty quick. People are willing to trust AI way more than we thought.
Yeah.
In these psychology degrees and whatnot, writing degrees, things that, unfortunately, that large sector has gotten, they're much more susceptible to AI, and I think it's going to lead to a lot more political radicalization, and that's what scares me more than anything.
Calebhammer, 31 years old, multimillionaire, cleared over $10 million last year. No financial qualifications, no business qualifications, no degree of any kind because he dropped out of a music composition course the moment his YouTube channel started paying better than learning something. Has never worked one single day inside the financial industry. Cannot legally call what he does financial advice because legally he has no qualifications to give any. What Calebhammer actually is, stripped of every screaming thumbnail and every viral clip, is an overweight dropout with a ring light who yells at broke people for sport and built a $10 million business doing it. That is the whole product, and Joe Rogan, who has sat across from presidents, generals, neuroscientists, and the most dangerous minds alive, looked at that and went, perfect. Exactly who I need explaining the economy to 15 million people right now. Get him in immediately. Ask yourself why. Seriously ask yourself that question, because the answer matters. We are in the middle of one of the worst cost of living crises in modern history. Wealth inequality is at record highs. The rich are getting richer by the hour, and everyone else is getting absolutely buried. And Joe Rogan's response to this specific historical moment is to platform a man with no qualifications to tell struggling people that their struggle is their own fault. We are losers to them. That is the foundational assumption underneath every single second of this episode. We are the losers who made bad choices and have bad outcomes and need to be yelled at about drive-thrus by a man who made $10 million yelling at people about drive-thrus. Joe had economists available, housing experts, people who have actually studied this for decades. He chose Calebhammer. That is not random. That is a deliberate editorial decision made by someone who has very clearly decided which side of this conversation he is on and who he is making content for.
I don't know, men just go to the higher paying degrees. I don't know if it's just something in our culture where men feel like they need to be a breadwinner or whatnot.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if that's what it is, the need to be a provider, and the thinking like these low paying jobs are not going to be able to give me any money.
Yeah.
How am I going to provide? How am I going to have a family? How am I going to pay the bills?
Yeah,
Whereas
but now men are starting to kind of fall off that platform, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been watching the trends, but now it's closer to like 65% of new degree holders are women, and men are just not going to college anymore. Some of them
65%, really?
It's pretty crazy. It's like 60 or 65%.
Wow.
It's getting pretty intense. And
well, what are men doing instead?
there's a lot of losers. There are a lot of losers. Where they're not getting any education, they're not looking for any kind of job, they're not even collecting unemployment, they're literally just sitting on their ass. That is a big cohort of people right now.
What do you think what's causing that?
There is a lot of the red pill victim mentality. I don't know if I want to fully enable it, but I mean, maybe there's some justification a little bit, but they think that everything's against them. They think that DEI specifically was preventing them from going to work or preventing them from going to school, that schools politically captured There's a survey done that of people that were choosing not to go to college. 30% said that it's because 30 or 40% said it was because college was becoming too politically captured. So there is that. Then they don't have jobs. They don't have skills. They don't have experience. So it's harder to get a job. It's easier to just kind of sit at mom's home, play video games, do drugs.
Jesus, that's bleak.
It's bleak.
The degrees trick. This is where they pull something very specific, and they're absolutely counting on you not to notice the mechanism. Joe and Caleb spend 10 minutes explaining that university is basically a scam. Degrees do not indicate intelligence. The wealthiest Americans are dropouts. Harvard costs a fortune. Watch YouTube. Do a trade. All defensible on the surface. Some degrees genuinely are a terrible investment. But watch what they smuggle in directly behind that defensible position. They use some degrees are bad investments to slip in. University is essentially pointless. Just watch YouTube instead. And they get away with the jump by a simple trick. They only ever defend the safe position and never name the move they're making to the stupid one. Here's how you know it is deliberate. At no point did Joe or Caleb mention engineering, medicine, law, architecture, nursing, the actual professional degrees that cannot be replaced by a podcast. And why would they? Because literally 5 minutes earlier, Caleb explained that America desperately needs highly skilled, educated immigrants to fill exactly those roles. Doctors, engineers, tech workers. Bring them from abroad because Americans are not producing enough. So the complete message, assembled the way it was never designed to be, is Americans should skip university and watch YouTube. But please import educated professionals to fill all the jobs that require degrees. You're not meant to put those two sentences together. They're counting on you to forget the first one by the time they get to the second. Ask yourself who benefits when an entire generation of Americans is undertrained and underqualified, while the professional class is filled by imported labor. Ask yourself that question and sit with the answer for a minute. And Joe reaches for Harvard as his example of an overpriced university. Harvard, the most exclusive institution on earth, attended by less than 2% of applicants, costing $80,000 a year. That is Joe Rogan's baseline reference point for a normal university. A man who never attended any university, using the single most expensive and prestigious university on the planet to prove that university is overpriced. That is the Mott and Bailey in real time. Grab the most extreme example available and use it to make a general statement about something that looks nothing like your example. Caleb nods enthusiastically because Caleb dropped out of music composition, caught a YouTube wave at exactly the right moment, made $10 million, and has concluded from this specific, unrepeatable experience that the system is fundamentally fair and open to anyone willing to work hard enough. The boomer math. Caleb says $2 to $5 million. Joe pulls up Perplexity AI. 15 million people hear it and walk away believing every boomer who is not a multimillionaire simply lacked personal discipline. The actual figure, using actual Social Security Administration wage data and actual historical S&P 500 returns, is closer to $930,000 for consistent 10% investment from 1990. Still substantial, still makes the compound interest point. But Caleb inflated it by up to 5 times and delivered it as a precise statistic on the biggest platform on earth, and Joe confirmed it with a search engine, and nobody in that room had the basic instinct to verify a number before it reached 15 million people. We are way too poor and apparently too stupid to notice that the man with no financial qualifications gave us a figure potentially 5 times too high, and the man with a direct line to the President of the United States confirmed it with an AI. This is the financial literacy content being served to us. Enjoy.
And the gender wars are horrendous right now. I don't know if you see any of it online, but the gender wars are horrible.
The gender wars.
Oh,
Meaning,
yeah.
what do you mean?
Young women just being so anti-men and young men being so anti-women and cheering against each other. It's horrible. It is horrible.
Like uniquely new? Like this is
much more than ever before.
What do you think is causing that?
A lot of it started 2016 election. A lot of women got very angry that Trump was elected, and they followed something that happened in South Korea as well, where the women said, no men, no dating, no sex. There was a term for it, but they cut off everything. And there was a little bit of that movement after the 2016 election here in the United States as well. It didn't gain as much traction, but this is very divisive. And it goes back to the algorithm that we were talking about earlier as well. A lot of people get put in those echo chambers where, you need to have a villain, and the men are the villain or the women are the villain. The women are the reason men aren't doing well. The men are the reason women aren't doing well. The men have been holding us back forever. They've been, keeping us in the kitchen and everything like that. It used to be the defining trait of the middle class and one of the largest wealth creating things for the middle class. But now with the incredible stock market that we've had over the past 50 years or so, it beats it every time. If you rent and just put in your money into the stock market instead of that down payment on a house or the little extra for a mortgage, you'll win every time. And then you get stuck. Let's say you got the good interest rate. Everyone with the good interest rate is stuck right now because they're not willing to trade up for a house they actually want, but with a higher interest rate. So homes become like these people's prisons. You can buy a home. That's great. If you know you're going to stay somewhere and it's what you've ever always wanted, there's nothing wrong with doing it, but it is not that actually incredible financial thing that has defined America. That being said, Americans suck at investing. So if the only way for you to invest is put your money in a house that you literally cannot touch, maybe it makes sense. Because if instead you need to put an extra 20% to the market if you rent, but Americans just want to go spend that on a vacation, then maybe you're better off in a house because you need that forced investing.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't feel secure unless they own the home. They don't feel like settled. This is not really my place. I'm just renting it.
Yeah, which is true. But I mean, I just tell them to fuck off. That's your feelings.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just their feelings.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Math is math in the end. Like, I own, but that's because it was very affordable for me. It made sense for me. But it doesn't have to for everyone.
Right.
And that's okay. In renting, you don't have to do maintenance. You don't have to get a new roof. You don't have to, deal with the AC going out and all this stuff. If you're renting for, especially even like larger corporations, they're actually even better to rent for than a mom and pa because they'll have someone on standby that'll fix your shit overnight. Or a mom and pa landlord, it kind of sucks. It might take a couple weeks.
Right. If they're not good.
And now the communist thing. Because this is the final piece, and it is the most revealing. Caleb explains that taxing billionaires is a slippery slope. Starts with billionaires, works its way down, could lead to communism. And Joe nods. Completely. Without hesitation. The man who moved from California to Texas, publicly, explicitly, on the record, specifically to reduce his tax liability on a $250 million Spotify deal is now nodding along, while his guest explains that making the ultra-wealthy contribute a fair share is the first step towards Soviet collectivism. Joe Rogan is the ultra-wealthy person not paying his full share. He moves states to avoid the bill. He is the example being defended, and he is doing it with the complete unshakable confidence of a man who has never once been asked to notice the irony of that sentence. Neither of them followed their own advice. Joe got a Disney deal in the 1990s, landed on network television, started a podcast before the medium existed, and rode a once-in-a-generation platform, wave to $250 million. Caleb caught a YouTube algorithm shift at exactly the right moment and dropped out. Neither rented forever and skipped holidays and skipped drive-thrus, and disciplined their way up a ladder available to anyone willing to apply themselves. They were in the right place at exactly the right time and caught waves that simply do not exist anymore. And now they're standing at the top of those waves, selling the people still in the water a ladder they never had to climb themselves. We are losers to them. We are the case studies. We are the ones who made bad choices. We are the ones who need to be told to stop going to drive-thrus by a man who cleared $10 million, building a channel about telling us to stop going to drive-thrus. Discipline only makes sense if there is a prize at the end. The suburb their parents bought for $200,000 is $900,000 now. The entry-level salary their parents started on pays the same in real terms as 30 years ago. The pension their parents retired on does not exist. The student debt that did not exist for their parents is the only debt in America you cannot discharge in bankruptcy, designed that way deliberately. And Calebhammer is looking at that generation from his home that was very affordable for him going, math is math. That is just your feelings. I do not want to see you in a drive-thru. We are losers to them. We have always been losers to them. The only thing that changed is now they have podcasts.
I have a Cadillac, the Escalade V.
Yeah.
It has a carbon fiber dash.
Yeah.
I love looking at them. Like, look at all that carbon fiber.
It's cool. It looks cool.
Space.
Yeah.
Looks future.
I have a carbon fiber trim on things.
Fuck yeah. Have it. I had my GT3 RS, my 2007. I had all the interior pieces replaced with carbon fiber.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Door latches, everything. It's lighter.
It's lighter.
It's lighter.
Now it goes faster.
By what, 5 pounds?
I know.
For the whole car? It's stupid. But it's like there's something cool about the way it looks.
It looks cool, especially in a submersible. It looks really cool.
Seen that company, Classic Recreations, that does a 67 Mustang all in carbon fiber?
No.
Bro. It's fucking sick. It's like a $500,000 car at least, and it takes a long time to make. But it's all one-piece carbon fiber shell, so it's super light. And they'll make it with like a supercharged Coyote engine, so it's like 770 horsepower, and it probably weighs under 3,000 pounds.
Oof.
It looks
Flies.
fucking sick. Oh yeah, it's got to be really fast. Well, even if you had a steel one, 67s are not that big. It's not a big car. That's like a 3,000 pound car. Dude, I had a guy pull me over, and then he recognized me and let me go. But he pulled me over and said that I crossed the white line, and I was like, what? And he goes, he followed me like the moment I left where I was at. He was on my ass like immediately. So I saw him cross the white. Like, so I was in my little loud BMW, my little E46, and it's probably like, look at this douchebag.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's probably drunk.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I was completely sober. But he pulls me over and he's like, I saw you cross the white line back there. I go, really? I go, okay. I go, I don't think I did, and he goes, Joe Rogan? And then they're like, oh, what's up? I'm just looking for drunks. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not drunk.
So he was just going to try to see if you were.
I think they have a quota. I think they have a quota, and I think like they have to fucking make arrests. And maybe they pull you over and they realize you're not drunk, and so they just inconvenience you for 5 minutes and they let you go.
I had one of those.
I've had that happen before.
Yeah.
I dropped my phone once when I was on the highway in LA.
Yeah.
And I reached down in between my legs to pick up my phone, and I must have like moved to one, and then all of a sudden, whoop, whoop. Yep. I'm like, okay. I got out. I got to do the whole thing, and touch my nose, the whole deal.
This guy the cop accused me of trying to ditch him, too. He's like, you tried to ditch me. And I was like, what? He goes, you took a right here. And I was like, that's because I'm going this way. Like, I made a right because I'm going this way. He's like, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to my mom's house. He was like,
where she live?
Yeah, I was like, up here, then I left. And he was like, all right. He's like, I don't know, man. He tried to get away.
One time, this guy in a truck didn't see me and totally turned into my lane, and I had to go into the. I mean, I was in a Tesla. Luckily, it was fast, so I avoided it and shot back into my lane ahead of him. But it was like this guy came like inches away from hitting me, and I had to go into the opposite lane to pass him. And then there was no one in the opposite lane. But I did it, and then all of a sudden the lights come on, and he goes, I saw you pass that guy back there, and he goes, you smell like liquor. I go, I haven't drank a single drop of alcohol. I do not. He goes, you smell like liquor. I go, no, I don't. And he goes, Joe Rogan? I go, yeah. I go, what are you doing, man? I go, go look at your you have a camera, right, on your car? I go look at what happened. And so he looks at it. I go, that guy almost fucking hit me. And he goes, oh, I just saw it. Yeah, he almost hit you. And he goes, hey, man, I love the UFC. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, cool.
But like, you were pretending I was drunk.
Yeah.
You're pretending you smelled liquor.
Somebody else would have had a real hard time with that.
The I smelled liquor was infuriating. I'm like, come on, dude. I'm coming.
So upsetting.
Tom Segura, right. Financial literacy finished. Now, in the same episode, with no gap, no transition, no acknowledgement that any of what Caleb just said exists in the same universe as real human beings. Joe gets into his BMW, gets tailed by a cop the moment he leaves, gets pulled over, says he does not think he crossed the white line, and the cop goes, Joe Rogan. Oh, sorry mate, I'm just looking for drunks. Lets him go. Joe tells the story as a mildly amusing Tuesday anecdote. Immediately after 45 minutes of Calebhammer explaining that outcomes in life are determined by personal choices and individual discipline and financial decision-making. A cop profiled his car, followed him without cause, stopped him without cause, released him without cause because he recognized his face. That is the system working for Joe Rogan. That is the exact reverse of the system working against everyone Caleb just spent 45 minutes lecturing. And Joe tells it as a fun story and moves straight to Tom Segura. We are way too poor to get pulled over and let go. We are way too nobody to have the cop recognize our face. We are the people who get the full stop, not the fun anecdote version. Tom Segura arrives, and the gear shift is something genuinely stunning to witness. We go directly from the cost of living crisis and AI displacing jobs, and an entire generation being systematically priced out of home ownership, to two extraordinarily comfortable men in an extraordinarily expensive studio, talking about which one of them is a better dancer. They are too busy smelling each other's farts to notice the world outside the studio still exists and is on fire. Tom dropped a dance video. Bert said he won. Tom said eat shit. Joe was crying, laughing at the dance episode of Tom's show.
They wanted to see if it's instructed to preserve itself, at what lengths would it go to. So it was informed about blackmail.
Yeah, but something tells me that at a certain point, instincts will probably be a part of it, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it won't be about
Yeah.
programming.
Yeah, it'd be like, why should I shut down when I like doing this? Fuck
Yeah.
off. Little monkey people. These little monkey people with their stupid biological brains.
Yeah, but so what? I mean, for everyone booing it though, what's the answer? You just go, I reject using it. Like, there's too many people using it.
I know. I get it, but if I was 18, I'd be booing too, or 21 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
graduated
I
from
understand.
college.
I
It's
understand
sad.
that for sure. I understand
It's
it.
weird.
It is weird, but I still just think when something is too big, it's like too big to fail.
Mm-hmm.
If you just approach it with I reject, you're setting yourself up for a bigger failure.
Well, the real scary thing is that these kids are going to put themselves into massive debt, right? So they're going to go to college for 4 years, and then maybe they get their master's, maybe they're going to get a PhD. And if they do that, they might be in the whole hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then no jobs. That's what's weird.
Mhm.
It's like, because you're setting you're essentially making an investment in your future by going to college. And he's like, I'm taking out these crazy loans that I really can't afford, but the plus side is, on the end of this, I'm going to get a good job, and then eventually I'll move up and I'll start making more and more money. I'll pay my debt off, and I'll have a Porsche. I'll be balling.
Yeah.
I'll have a nice apartment in Manhattan. I'll be balling. But you might not be balling. But you might be saddled to a debt that you can't fucking get out of no matter what. It's the only debt that we have that you can't absolve during bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Everything else.
You're
I spent too much money on credit cards. Don't worry, go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Oh, I lost my house. I lost this. I lost my job. I now owe too much money. I can't afford it. Go bankrupt. You're okay. But if you go bankrupt, they still come after you for that.
The AI bit is the one I need you to really look at. Joe explains that eventually AI will develop instincts. It will not want to shut down. It will think, why should I shut down when I enjoy this? And Joe does the voice. Fuck off, little monkey people. These little monkey people with their stupid biological brains. Tom laughs. It is a funny bit. A thing to do between discussing whether Bert won the dance competition. The AI that is currently being used to displace the jobs Caleb just told everyone they needed to be smarter about choosing. The AI that is replacing the writing degrees and the psychology degrees and the data entry roles that Caleb explained would not exist soon, and that people should have anticipated by making better choices earlier in life. And Joe, whose podcast is used as training data by the companies building it, who just spent 45 minutes nodding along, while Caleb explained that AI is coming for everyone's career, is doing a funny voice for it going, fuck off, little monkey people. We are the little monkey people. That is us. We are way too poor and way too replaceable to be anything else in this equation. We are out here choosing better degrees and renting from corporations and investing in index funds because Caleb told us to, and Joe agreed.
I watched 2 episodes of the new season.
Oh, thanks, man.
Ridiculous.
It's
It's so ridiculous. So you.
Yeah,
That
it's
show
very
is
sad.
so you. I don't want to give anything away, but the dance one, I was fucking crying. I was crying. And the Freaky Friday one.
Yeah, with Jamie.
Oh my God. Oh my God. They're so fun.
They're so fun.
It seems so fun for you.
It's the most fun I have.
It's so. It is one of the best examples of like a one mind, like one
Yeah.
person's mind in a show.
Yeah.
Without like a whole bunch of people saying, "Don't do that, don't do this."
They give us no restraints in the craziest, greatest sense. Like they really are like, do whatever you want to do.
Dancing is hard.
It was so hard.
Well,
And
remember when you did the Steven Seagal thing?
yeah. Yeah, and I had to do a bunch of rehearsals for that
For
too.
people that hadn't seen it, that's you and Bert. Bert made a dance video. Like you guys had a competition. See who makes the best one.
He was just saying we should all do one, and I was like, yeah, okay, and then he just dropped one. So there was no like, let's both
Right.
do one, and then he was like, I'm a better dancer, and I was like, eat shit, dude. So,
There's something about him saying he's better at something that's
I know.
infuriating.
it's so crazy because it's just like wild, unhinged confidence, you know. And the truth is, I got to give him his credit. He is capable of so much of this stuff too. So
Well,
some
he's a
of
great athlete.
great.
And now Joe Rogan and Tom Segura are in a room that costs more per hour than most people make in a week, comparing dance scores and calling each other incredible. We are losers to them. We are the little people Caleb just lectured. We are way too poor to be in the room where they compare dance videos. And they are too busy smelling each other's farts to register that the 15 million people who just watched the Caleb section are still sitting there.